There's a way you can effectively make and accumulate and keep double the amount of money without having to work twice as much, getting twice as better at something, or effectively making more money physically. And now this is still the goal. We all want to make more money, we all want to build wealth, etc. So we're all going to keep growing. But if we can do this, it's going to propel us in an incredible way. Now, the important thing to keep in mind when I speak about this is what I mean. For example, if I earn 10,000 but get a fancy apartment in New York and pay 3,000 for that, I lease a car and pay 1,000, splurge the rest on dinners and anything else, I'll be left with zero, nothing. But if I earn less physically, 7,500, but I end up paying less for the apartment, I don't lease a car, I manage my expenses well, I'll be left with something. So effectively, my financial situation will be better, even though I'm earning less physically. But the crux of that is, if I just do that at the same place, I will just have to sacrifice my quality of life, right? I'll have to get a worse apartment, I'll have to enjoy less eating out, let's say. I will have to sacrifice stuff, which, I mean, it's not ideal, right? Ideally, I would want to be able to do this while keeping the same quality of life, if not better. And this is where we get to the main point, because it's quite simple. If I go to a place where milk costs half as much as what it does at home, well, I'll save 50% every time I go buy milk. If taxes are half of what they are at home, I will save 50% of what I would have paid on tax. And that's money I keep. While retaining the same quality, while not having to make any sacrifices in that regard. And so now there's different places you could do this, but let me tell you, the best place for me and for many others is gonna be the Balkans. Because a few things: freedom, safety, quality of life, costs of living, very, very nice taxes, and you don't need to be in a zero tax heaven. Like, you don't need to go to an island where you pay zero tax. Like, it just needs to be much lower. And so let me take you through some very specific and real numbers that are taken from cost of living index, tax codes of different countries, etc. The example, I'll pull it up on the screen now. I'll show you an example between London and Belgrade, but these are going to be the same across the board, okay? From the London part, it's going to be similar whether you're in Canada, US, London, wherever. Sure, some differences maybe, but it's going to be very similar. And Belgrade, again, across the Balkans, you're going to be looking at similar numbers. So let's start with an example of 10K. And we're starting with 10K because it gets better the less you earn. So with 10K, in London, you get taxed at 31%. That's 3K down. A decent apartment in London, in a decent location, will set you back 1,700. Plus you see all the other expenses listed right here. You're left with 3,500. Not too bad. In Belgrade though, your tax will be 15%. Okay, so you're already, again, saving half on taxes. Your rent for the same quality of an apartment will be 600. Again, same quality. So you're saving a ton of that, and the same happens with any other expenses that you might have or want to have, okay? So at the end of the day, Belgrade, you save 7,000. And again, you're not changing anything about the quality. I would argue your quality of life will be better in Belgrade, even with the same numbers, which is ridiculous, okay? And so what do you do now? You are effectively saving 7,000 every month, double of what you would at home, effectively making double the money. And so you have two choices, right? You can either save and invest and accumulate it, in which case, if you just keep the expenses the same, which won't be difficult because you're not living a bad life, you're living good. You're saving 7K per month. Well, you're at 84,000 at the end of the year. Insane, okay? Or splurge a little, right? You could do that because you could say, well, instead of paying 667 for an apartment, let me get a nice one for 2,000. Let me show you what 2,000 gets you in Belgrade. I'll pull it up on the screen now. These are active listings, okay, that you could rent today. Look at this stuff. Look at this stuff. These are sensational apartments, fully furnished, modern, top appliances, amazing amenities, very often new buildings where you have saunas, gyms, pools, etc. Prime locations. Look at this stuff, right? Look at all of these places. Sensational. And that's 2,000. Even if you do that, you still have 5K left over, all right? So you're still saving 2,000 more than you would in London or any other place, all right? So this was the main point. This is how you can effectively double the amount of money you accumulate by using just location arbitrage, by going to a place where things are better, okay? And then whatever you want to do, whether you want to start a business, invest, like, it's going to be easier in places like this. I'm in Zagreb right now. And so consider this, all right? Consider this. And if you're curious about this more and want to see actually how it works, where, how, when, how do you make money if you don't have a remote income, for example, how can you build one? I built a free school group that's going to stay free for a good while now, and there's really nothing you can buy. The link is going to be in the description, so jump in. I'll be very happy to see you there. Happy to jump on a call with you, take you through some bits. And then, yeah, I've got plenty more videos in the chamber, locked and loaded. And so, yeah, feel free to subscribe or whatever. I don't know what these YouTubers say. Subscribe, ring the bell. And yeah, see you in the next one. Plenty more in the chamber. And again, consider this.